Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
Okay,
How are you doing?
perfect. I'm fine. I can start, but I can see my presentation yet.
How is the weather on your side?
The weather is wonderful. It's quite the same like in Estonia because it's about 20 degrees as well.
Oh,
So it's wonderful.
Quite nice.
we are jealous already.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. Yeah, it's spring.
Yes, finally. So you are going to talk about uh, something technological today, about
Yes.
inboxes and email inbox providers, and or
Yes, I'm able to tell you more about email providers diversification across Europe.
mm-hmm.
I am from Email Labs, and my presentation is based on many email delivery strategy on everyday basis. And I'm working with enterprise customers from e-commerce, retail, banking, fintech industries. So I hope you find it interesting today.
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah,
All
okay.
right.
All right.
We see.
Now it's visible for you. Okay, so once again, thank you for an invitation for Email Labs. Thank you, Tanal. Thank you, Erki. I'm very happy to be here today with you. As I said, I'm in charge of Email Labs. It is email API and cloud SMTP that can be integrated basically with each and every sending system in order to deliver your emails on time to the inbox. So, as I said, everything is based on my experiences. And my topic for today is diversification of email providers across Europe. I would like to tell you more about how they assess our emails. But first of all, I would like to start with some basics because I'm convinced it is good to have some essential for the beginning. And let's start with emails because we are all here because of emails. Email connects us today, and following the Litmus report, we can say that email marketing is the most effective marketing channel. And looking at our everyday job, we spend long hours preparing interesting, personalized, beautiful as well emails. And this is like having lots of balls in the air because we spent the time for building, designing, collecting feedback from our stakeholders as well. So it takes long hours to prepare something special. And for us, it's very extremely important to have those emails delivered on time and to the inbox. So how can we measure it? How can we be sure that this will happen? And first of all, I would like to ask you a question. Do you know how many emails are sent every day across the globe? So maybe we can use a chat, a window, and maybe we can come up with something. What do you think? Okay, so I will tell you. It is 347 billion of emails each day across the globe. So this is a very difficult situation because it's really difficult to be sure that our email will reach the inbox, and we want to be sure it will happen. And Sometimes I smile when our potential customers want us to provide them with 100% deliverability rate, because of course, thank you for the answers. Okay, because it depends not only on the infrastructure, it is not only on my side, but also it is dependent on sending frequency, relevance to your subscribers, and of course more, even brand is essential. And what's interesting, emails in inbox and spam folder are both classified as delivered. So it's really challenging to be sure that we land in inbox with our emails. And looking at the way of our emails, we can start with the database. Let's say we've got 1 million of emails, email addresses in our database. And of course, sometimes it's hard to target everyone because of email suppressed, because of unsubscribes, for example, the users that revoked their consents. And then we have emails delivered, and of course not delivered because of soft bounces, hard bounces. Hard bounces, I'm sure you know, they are invalid emails. Soft bounces occur when there is a spike in volume, sudden spike of volume. For example, if you send every day 100,000 of emails from your infrastructure, and then suddenly you create a spike, this additional volume is soft bounced. And then we've got email in inbox, emails in spam folders and blocked, and opened, clicked, as you can see here. And how can we measure and detect where our email landed? So what folders exactly? And it's very hard because there are some necessary tests. There are some additional tests necessary in this case. It's good to have some seeding list. There are lots of email addresses that are monitored to find out where exactly my email landed. So let's go further, and we should go deeper into the details and look at the numbers in the context of various ISPs. It's very essential, especially when you would like to have the competitive advantage on a particular market in a particular country. It's also extremely important not just to have any infrastructure, but adjust it to particular market and ISPs on a particular market, of course. So if you see, for example, some discrepancies between sent and delivered, it should be maybe it should be the case when we have to look deeper and measure it deeper, or maybe change your sending practices as well. And of course, open rates, after the launch of iOS 15, the world has changed. The world of emails, of course, has changed, because monitoring open rates is not sufficient. You should look also at additional metrics, like the visits on your website, the order placed in your store, for example, and maybe monitoring not only open rates, but also spam complaints to detect if everything is okay with your delivery. So I could recommend some additional tests and looking at those metrics in a multi-dimensional way, just to have the right context and put it into the perspective. And email on this way, of course, it's very simple. I'm sure you know it. Because first of all, we've got system generating an email, for example, CRM, CSM, or marketing automation, or maybe e-commerce solution. Then we've got infrastructure, email API. This is the moment where validation records are added by sender. And then as a legitimate sender, you are sending your emails that are assessed by ISPs. ISPs, I mean Gmail, Yahoo, Orange, etc., etc. And there is a spam check. So this is on ISP side, and they decide if your email will be delivered on time and to the right folder. So let's go further. What's the most important from ISP side? It is IP domain pair based reputation, because your history on your sendings are extremely important. So this is the first and the most important factor. And then we've got sending frequency, of course, cleanliness of your database, and content, template, and more and more. Even, brand is essential, because, for example, Google knows about us, our website, everything. So the number of visitors, for example, and these factors have impact on our email deliverability. So this is something you should think of. And the sender reputation, so the history, is based on these factors. So the history of your sending, bounces, of course, spam traps as well, user engagement. So if your emails are interesting for your subscribers, if they are relevant for them, so if they open them, click them, and forward them, it's good for you, absolutely. So there are some positive factors. And of course, negative factors, very harmful, for example, spam complaints. This is the main factor that should be aware of in terms of negative impact on your deliverability. And how various ISPs assess your sendings? Of course, it depends. I know it's not very popular, but really it depends, because there are global and very local mailbox providers. So they assess your emails sometimes in different ways because of algorithms. Sometimes they are, state-of-the-art algorithms, and they have been still developing and enhanced, for example, by Gmail. And there are also smaller one, very local, that follow the global providers. Sometimes they purchase their solutions as well. And sometimes, sometimes, to be honest, it's just the imagination of the group of administrators on the ISP side. So it's really, it depends where you send your email to. And the reaction of ISPs, we can distinguish two of those reactions. We've got sending limits, of course, and blocks. Each and every provider has its own sending limits. So the number of emails they are able to accept in a particular time for a particular sender. So they are, per month, per week, per hour even. So it depends where you send your email to and what is the predominance of your audience. And then we've got blocks when you send too many bounces, when you are soft bounced, for example, and due to spam complaints, it's very problematic and very negative to your sending score. And looking at the map and put the email deliverability into the perspective, and looking at various ISPs and countries as well, really sometimes, and some countries have its own very particular local providers. And this is sometimes this is the predominance of a local mailbox provider on a particular market. So if you want to build your competitive advantage, you have to think of adjusting your infrastructure to a particular country even. Of course, they have their own limitation, they have their own restrictions and the rules for classification your emails. And some of them, what's interesting, some of them want you to have agreements signed to have better deliverability. So it's really interesting when you look across Europe in terms of deliverability. And diversity of ISPs, of course, global providers are very transparent. And they show your requirements, they inform you before it will be in action. So, for example, Gmail, Yahoo, the latest requirements, as we know, they're very transparent, and each sender is able to adjust to be compliant with them. And then local providers, for example, Seznam from Czech Republic, Onet from Poland, for example, and German providers from German-speaking markets. So they have different solutions and different rules, requirements. And as I said, global providers have very transparent solutions and even tools to monitor your reputation, to monitor your feedback loops. So spam complaints. So you are able to react, you are able to do and deal with those issues and implement some improvements and changes in your email practice, sending practice. So of course, I can distinguish those. Of course, there are lots of them. And for example, the latest for Google, for Gmail, everything is summarized, so you are able to compare your sending, your records with the required. And email flow, this is the flow I call do it yourself. Do it yourself, because everything in your hands. And of course, it's good way. It's good way. You can do it yourself, of course. First of all, let's say you are a legitimate sender. You have to add your validation records, SPF, DKIM, DMARC, of course. And there is the assessment of on the ISP side. So as you can see, this is the list. Of course, it is much a longer list. This is some simplification for you. And then there is a decision. And the other one is the fast track. This is my terminology, of course. You can use Certified Senders Alliance to be certified by them to make your IP addresses whitelisted, to have better deliverability, to improve your performance, email performance, to have better classification as well, and to have possibility to an opportunity to change your email practices, because they provide you with additional metrics, for example, feedback loops, and even more, just to improve and just to be aware how to operate on a particular market, on a particular market and to the particular audience. So, but it costs money. So this is fast track, but you have to pay for it, for this certification. And you've got your email addresses whitelisting to make sure they will land in inbox. And as you can see, the list of members of CSA is quite impressive, because they are not only local providers and smaller market, but also global providers as well. So it's good to think of it and maybe find out how it can operate on in your case. And let's stop for a moment, because I would like to give you some examples based on my experiences with senders on a particular, sometimes very local market. First of all, and this is the example with do-it-yourself. So first of all, how can we manage it, doing our best to provide the best sending practices and to have the best deliverability. So first of all, it is a extremely interesting market. It is a German-speaking market, so Germany, Austria, Switzerland. I have to share some information about German, because this is the country with the highest inbox placement rate, across the globe. So quite impressive, quite interesting, good practices on this market. And as you can see, local providers account for about 60%. So, it's good to have something sophisticated and complex prepared on this market before you start thinking about open this market, so hit this market. And first of all, they are very focused on your cleanliness, the cleanliness of your database. And they are look at double opt-ins, spam complaints. Really, they are very crazy about it. Of course, it's good. It's a good example of the best practices. And then, of course, other factors that are important on these very local markets. And of course, the other way, fast track. So you can use CSA and whitelist your IP addresses to have better deliverability, to have additional data, because they show you the information about the feedback loops on this market. So very, very important to have some complex information to build better deliverability, of course. And Czech Republic, also very local and very specific market, because local provider Seznam accounts for almost 70% of this audience. So also something very, very specific. And of course, they have their own list of requirements, and it's good to be compliant with them. They aren't very, very specific, because they are common. They are common and similar to Google and Yahoo. So they focus on two-way communication. They focus on dedicated IP addresses. So of course, you can do it yourself, and to have the comparison to this solution, you can use CSA certification, because they are a member of CSA. So also extremely interesting. And Romania, because this is an example with global provider, because Yahoo is, on this market, there is a predominance of Yahoo mailboxes. There's almost 100%. So impressive. As you can imagine, of course, SPF, DKIM, DMARC, at least none, and domain alignment and spam complaints below 0.3% are very essential for them. And of course, warming up is also crucial when you send marketing emails, because of course, as I said, the spike, when you create a spike in volume, sudden and unexpected, it could be problematic on ISP side. And of course, remember that CSA still works for you on this market. And Great Britain, because there we have Microsoft. This is an example with one of our customers on this market, without certification, so do-it-yourself model. And when you have experience with Microsoft, you know that sometimes when you send your emails using quite a new infrastructure, new IP addresses, you have to warm them before, and sometimes you get blocked. So sometimes it is problematic. Yeah, it's problematic. And how to deal with this? Because, the only opportunity for you when you don't have some additional certifications, you have to send them a ticket with explanations, of course, with the background, what happened. So I would recommend you to send some additional information, not asking and begging them for unblocking, but provide them with additional data and demonstrate them your sending practices, what you would like to improve, of course. So this is my experiences with these providers. I could recommend this way. And case studies across Europe, because we have implemented e-commerce, one of many. However, it is just example with e-commerce that operates on 22 European markets. So quite demanding, challenging, and we have presented very dedicated approach. We've prepared dedicated infrastructure, and first of all, we asked the customers to provide us with the structure of their database, because it's important to have your email deliverability of the best quality and the best performance of your marketing emails. So first of all, the structure, and then preparing an warming up plan, on a different market. So it should be adjusted to particular requirements and the rules for classification, email classification. Without CSA, so this is the do-it-yourself model, and we were able to provide them with the highest deliverability rate, and they are satisfied with this performance. And I guess this is everything from my side for today. We are able to talk about deliverability in person, if you like, in Cologne during the email summit this April. So come and touch base with me if you like, if you will be in Germany this time. And of course, I'm open to your questions. And today and always, if you like to send me an email, of course, you know I'm from Email Lab, so I'm waiting for them, and very open to your suggestions and feedback as well. So thank you very much. I'm excited to be here, and I'm looking at your questions.
Thank you, Katarzyna. Wow, okay. This all seems like really complicated. Is it?
Yes, it is.
So, if I am okay, I'm not a starting business. I have to be like a big conglomerate. So, if I want the best deliverability, I would need to approach you, right? Not deal with all those inbox providers by myself. It seems like too much hassle.
Yeah, I would recommend to have a strong partner in order to adjust your sending practices to each and every market, because it's easier, you know, there are almost 10 years experience to have those backgrounds, and it has been changed all the time. As you can see, even looking at Gmail and Yahoo as well, this is still changing. So email is not dead; it's still alive.
Yeah, we
You know.
totally agree. But what about those latest Gmail and Yahoo changes? Do they affect like in a big way, or do you have some comments about that? About those like mandatory demarks and stuff like that?
Yes, especially when you send more than 5,000 emails per day, it's essential to have those requirements implemented, because we can see Gmail and Yahoo react to those settings. So it's good to have it right now. And in June, you have to have one-click unsubscribe implemented as well. So I can bet, you know, we will see the results of it. So yes, I can observe that this is very important for them, and they require us to have it implemented with our senders.
Okay, but I have a like this is like my personal interest. I think there is in with the biggest global providers there is a little bit more to that than just technical aspects. For example, engagement. They are probably tracking what I am reading, how long am I reading. I don't know which device I am reading. Does this also affect somehow? Have you seen some kind of patterns or?
Yes, of course. Gmail, Yahoo, and Microsoft are really focused on social factors. This is my terminology. It means they are conscious of if your subscribers open your emails, click your emails, and forward them as well. It is, you know, this is very, very essential. So positive engagement and also negative engagement. Because I'm thinking in this place, I'm thinking of spam complaints, and they are, I able to distinguish when your emails are relevant to your subscribers or not. So it is basic, and of course the list is much longer because they are aware of, for example, content template and even brand, because you know it is visible, especially for Gmail. They are able to assess the history of your website, the number of visitors, the engagement as well. So they are able to assess if you have good history or not. So everything has impact on your email deliverability.
Okay, so like a country inside a country, if I know a lot of information about you, I can use it. So they have a lot of information about us, which they can use. But what about smaller players, like local players? Well, small is like, I don't know, a bad definition, but for example, the biggest inbox provider in Germany, do you know if they have something like that also implemented? If I would like to go to a German market, I would somehow need to consider those things.
Yeah, because what was interesting that you showed those maps, let's say it was in Czech or where, like was their local provider, like huge percentage versus what we here probably thinking that, Gmail, probably it's everywhere, like in the top of the mind. So, but from your map, there is like absolutely
really diverse.
Yeah.
Yeah, Czech people love Seznam, and it's quite interesting. But it depends on the market. As I said, some of the markets and some of ISPs have to have an agreement site with the sender to whitelist your IP addresses. So this is the first case, maybe hard to understand. However, it is the fact. And the other one has transparent requirements. For example, German providers have very clear requirements, and they are very strict to them. And of course, some fast track, if you like.
Okay, about this CSA fast track, do you know what happens if someone misuses it, like starts to send spam or something like that?
Yeah, it always is problematic, because they are able to exclude you for the certification from the list of senders of the members of the CSA. So you have to be compliant with those requirements all the time. So not only before the certification process, but all the time, every day.
Okay, and does Email Labs provide tools for this, like checkups, regular?
Yes, of course. We are in the process. We haven't been certified yet. However, we're in the process, and we would like to implement it till the end of this year.
All right, great. We have some questions also from the audience. We have a little bit time, if it's okay with you.
Yeah.
What can we do to increase our chances of getting the emails in the inbox and not in the spam? Do you have like some like hard rules? Do this first, and then you will get like 80% of results. Do not send spam, right?
Yeah, exactly. This is what we have said already, because my presentation was about the best deliverability. So it depends. I know it's not popular answer. However, it depends on the particular ISP. However, of course, it's always good to have a record, added validation record. This is the first step. Okay. Dedicated IP, I would recommend it, and share your volume into the transactional emails and marketing emails, to divide it to at least two separate IP addresses. And then, of course, sending history is extremely important. So you have to warming up your email addresses. So especially when you send marketing emails, you have to warming up your email addresses. So creating good sending history. So you have to have your maintain the good relevance to your subscribers. You have to have your emails opened, clicked, not just send. Now send and I don't know how to call it, but something and pray. Just send and pray. Maybe they will open it. No, nothing like that. You have to, of course, personalize and send it just in time when they need them.
Okay, you mentioned dedicated IP. We have some clients. Estonia is a small country, but like relatively big clients here, and they have like databases. I don't know, hundreds of thousands of subscribers, but they don't have as much volume. Sent through a dedicated IP. For example, if you send once a week. 4 days or 6 days, there is nothing. And then you want to send again, like this 100 or I don't know, 300, 400,000. And then the providers will start throttling and blocking because of 2 big spikes. But the client wants to send as soon as possible. They don't have time to warm up like during the next 3 days to send out this 300,000. So what is your suggestion?
Okay, I would always, of course, when you send once a month, it is problematic because the history, is forgotten, and the sending history, and you have to warm everything once again, warm up once again. However, if you send once a week, it's okay. The warm-upping process is just at the beginning. So if you have your new IP addresses, you have to warm them up on the beginning. So you increase the volume step by step. We are preparing some plan for this because it's not as simple. You have to prepare some plan for this. And after all, if you have your email IP addresses ready, you are able to send even once a week, and it's okay. Your history is still active. It's okay. It's sufficient to maintain good deliverability.
Okay.
Can I ask also one question about this?
Of course.
Why? Just about the dedicated IP. But I'm always thinking that is this a little bit risky? Because let's say you do something wrong, not purposely, something happens, and you get blacklisted and blocked, and then all your sending is pow.
Yeah. But what if you have shared IP and some of the sender, not you, but other sender, will be blacklisted, will be listed on the blacklist?
But then I will switch to the second IP on the pool.
Yes. However, I recommend dedicated IP, especially when you send transactional emails, but also marketing emails. And this is our strategy for the best and the most conscious senders, because of course it is maybe sometimes risky. However, you can count on yourself, on your strategy. You maintain some level of interest and the frequency of the sendings. So you are able to monitor it. You are able to change it. So everything, it's your hands, in your hands. And when you have shared IP, maybe it is good when you send once a month. Yeah, it's good because you have always your IP ready, and they are treated in a good way on the ISP side. However, if you have shared IP, it is very risky because you don't know if there is a spammer on the same IP, your neighbor of which you don't like, and you don't want to be on the same IP, shared IP. So I would recommend to try and maintain and implement good sending practices.
Okay.
Because you are the creator, everything is in your hands.
Yeah. Okay, another question. Does Email Labs identify spam traps?
Yes. However, yes, we've got the solution built in email apps. However, you have to remember that it's impossible to monitor each and every spam trap, across the globe. It's impossible, to be honest. And first of all, I would recommend to protect your sign up form on your website first. So this is the first step and your practice. And I know it's good to have something, some functions. However, it's painful. However, you have to implement some solutions on your site first. And then it's good to have something additionally. Yeah, we've got something. It's as I said, it's impossible to have everything because spam traps are created every day. So we don't know. We don't know all of them.
Okay. What are some of the biggest mistakes in templates that can cause bad deliverability? Like long time ago, they said that do not send Viagra and Rolex and like keywords like that. Is it still relevant?
Yeah, and the other thing is, like, if you are writing a link, you're not putting the after the word like click here and you put the full link there. So are those still relevant things?
Yeah, they're still relevant. Yeah, content and template are still relevant. And broken links, for example, everything. I would recommend using mailchecker.net or mailtester as well, just to detect some failures and some mistakes, with the content. Just to detect them and try to correct and improve. However, what is the most important? It really depends. I remember the case with the wording, promotions, pay additional money for something. It was detected as spammy content email. So yeah, they are still very popular. This rules are very popular right now. However, I would recommend, because it is really long topic. I'm responsible for technical side. However, we've got our own tool. It is mailchecker.net, and you are able to find out how your email will be treated on ISP site, and what is the possibility to reach the inbox as well. So I recommend something like this.
Okay.
Quickly, last question. Is it possible, and if then how, can we identify and filter out automated scanners and link clickers from our email campaign metrics to ensure accurate measurement of genuine engagement? Is it like something that we can do, or?
Okay, email apps, on our side, we've got monitoring, of course, and we are able to find out if something happens, something suspicious, and there's spikes in volumes as well. So we are able to detect something like this. However, we educate our senders to do it on their side, to be honest, because we have to cooperate, because it's almost impossible to have everything on the infrastructure side. And as I said, we are email API, so possibilities on our side is limited. So it's good to have something on your side. However, as I said, if something's going on, we contact with the sender and try to find the solution. What happened, to detect what happened and how we are able to improve the situation for them.
All right. Thank you, Katarzyna. There are still some questions in the comments. If you like, you can answer them there, or maybe people can write you. They have your email address. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now we take a small 5-minute break.
Break.
Let's stretch, let's smoke, and then we will back.